Second video explaining about the Micron gauge and moisture, and about this system having mineral oil in it. It does have a new compressor on it that has PAG oil in it. And I explained the problems with this in previous videos, not going over that. Now take a look at this little pattern here on the Micron gauge. You see how it starts, it's up there, we're down into the 250 area we're reaching. You see how it bounced up right like this, like a heartbeat, bounced up, came back down. It hit a certain vapor pressure with the temperature, purged out a little moisture, boiled out. The Micron gauge is so sensitive, it could pick up a gnat farting 100 yards away. Exaggeration, but that's about what it's like. Compared to an analog gauge, you cannot see this in an analog gauge. Analog gauge is not even, an analog gauge is trying to use your odometer while you're driving down the freeway and you want to measure 1 millimeter. That's how inaccurate your analog gauge is. And you see how these start getting shorter and shorter, or roughly longer, until they stable out. Now, if I kept this on for 24 hours, you would see these spaces get shorter, and you would see the moisture removal, you'd see the micron level get farther and farther down here like this. And then eventually, if you run it long enough, these little jumps, what are little like outspurts of gassing, of steam blowing off, they would disappear. And after 24 hours on the right vacuum pump with the right hoses. Right now I'm just using refrigerant hoses. They're not the best to use. But at least my refrigerant hoses are protected by a silicone grease layer on there, and then with another sheathing over them, something that I made a video about, and it's time to replace them again, to change the sheathing. The hoses underneath are still good, but the sheathing is starting to show wear and tear. That's another story, and that's another video. Which one is going to be coming up? All right, so I'm going to go off from there. I'm going to shut off the vacuum and start the decay, and we're going to see where this thing ends up in about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to fill it up. There's nothing I can do with this. I can't make it. I can't undo what the last person who worked on this at the last shop, any contamination that's in it that's excessive, it's not going to happen. But at least it has a new receiver dryer on it, and I'm pulling it down, trying to get it as dry as I possibly can. That's feasible with doing a triple flush with dry nitrogen and a few purges and vacuum repeated over. And I only can do what I only can do, because I can't do what undo what a hack shop has done before me. All right, I'll see. And you see it's starting to stable out here. That now that I just shut it off, within 60 seconds, it's going up faster, and then it's starting to stable out a little bit. And I'll see where it is in a few minutes and maybe let you know, or just jump in some refrigerant and let's jump to the next one, because I'm running behind schedule today. See ya. I am behind schedule. I'm not about to. I'm way behind, like 2.5 hours.